How's it going, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Minecraft mob vote. Obviously the current one is about to happen in a few weeks at Minecon. They've already started revealing the mobs for it. I'll bring up a little bit, but we're just talking in general. My problems with the mob vote, the problems with the mob vote in general, and maybe the solutions. I do want to clarify, this is separate from the biome vote. We've only really had one or two of those, so there isn't really much to say about that. The biome vote, I guess, similar to the mob vote, but this is more focused on that. So the first one, which I think it's caused pretty much every other issue, the lack of information for the options leads to an uninformed choice for a lot of people. The lack of information, because really, you get like a minute video, like for example, here's the one for one of the upcoming mobs.
Is this where you saw the new mob?
There it is.
Oh, that's a rascal.
Is it hostile?
Just a little mischievous. It lives underground and loves playing hide and seek.
So do I, especially after lunch.
An enchanted pickaxe for us.
Oh, what a lovely gift. This must be a prize for finding it 3 times.
If the community vote for the rascal, we can keep this game of hide and seek going forever.
So that's the rascal. Sounds cool, right? Hide and seek and could give items? That sounds cool. But it could just not do that, or it could only give iron picks, or it could just, the hide and seek mechanic could be awful. It could just be the only thing added with nothing alongside it to coincide with more cave stuff. We don't know because we only get like a minute, and really half of that isn't even about the mob. So it's really hard to make an informed decision when it comes to that, and that's pretty much every single mob vote video about any mob. You could look up any of them. The next thing I want to talk about is emotion over logic. Now it's a Minecraft vote, it's not the end of the world. I mean, chat reporting is more of an issue, to be honest, but that's besides the point. A lot of people think emotionally over logically, like, will this actually add anything to the game? Looking at the glow squid. And also the sniffer that's going to win this year's vote, just because it's named similar to a creator and makes flowers, I guess, but has no actual mechanic that'll be long lasting on the game. But that's just my opinion on the sniffer. The third one hasn't been revealed yet, although we know the name by leaks. I won't say here in case you don't want to, have it revealed a day early, I guess. It's also always clear who the winner is before the first vote usually even concludes. Everyone knew the glow squid was going to win as soon as Dream and a bunch of other creators said it was going to win, or that they wanted it to win. It happens every year. And that's another problem in itself, honestly, because obviously the winners are always obvious, sometimes even before the event happens, but the votes are always decided by big creators, and whether that's the big creators' fault or not, not really. I mean, they can't really help that they have an audience. It's really just a problem with the vote system as a whole. It kind of sucks because smaller people could voice their opinion and not completely sway the vote, but if Dream says something, then obviously, I mean, he has enough controversies in itself, but it'll completely just, anything that he wants will happen. And that's good for him if he wants to inflate his ego. I don't think he's that type of person. He does have a crimson chin, though, which is pretty funny. But it sucks probably for them because they can't really say what they want if they don't want to just rig the vote. Because that's what happens every year. Your vote really doesn't matter in this because whatever the bigger creators say, if they're all like at least somewhat in agreement, that's what's going to win. Which leads me to my final issue really with the mob vote, the big one anyway. They're divisive. I mean, that's any vote, but it gets worse and worse every year, especially as more and more people vote or care about the mob vote. Every year the numbers, increase, especially recently. So obviously you're always going to upset at least 1/3 of the community, realistically 2/3 of the community, because it's usually 3 mobs now. That's usually the formula. So like last year, you can see it with the glare. Once it was out, there's just a lot of people that were just upset that voted for the glare and they just didn't even vote for the next one. So that's part of the community that you just sort of lost for the year for the event. Then obviously when the LA won, a lot of Copper Golem fans were upset. We still, don't have the Moo Bloom, unfortunately, or the Iceologer, or good old Chillager, because we had a fucking squid. But it happens every year, and I feel like every year it gets more and more toxic, and it's because of how divisive it is. So I'm obviously not just going to sit here and complain and not provide at least some solutions. Not all these I do, but these are just the ones I thought of right off the top of my head. Obviously the big one would be end a mob vote. I don't know if that's necessarily a solution. That's like going to the extreme right away. Another possible thing is actually add all the mobs eventually, not force people to vote on which mob they want to see and never see the others ever. That's, probably the biggest issue that causes it to be more divisive, because people will hate other people who vote for other things more if they just rip something away from them that they'll never see. It's not like they just have to wait, they'll never see it, supposedly. The probably solution I'd go with is eventually just have a mob vote update where you add a bunch of the most popular mobs that didn't get voted in, that still had a lot of popularity, like the Iceologer, like the Moo Bloom, like the, well, I mean, not really the glare. I mean, unless you want to add the glare, I don't care. The copper golem, you could just, that could be an update in itself at this point. So that is the solution I'd probably go with. Probably like 1.221, you know, or 1.22. Do like a mob vote update. And every once in a while, do one where an update where you add some of the mobs since the last one. That would be the solution I go with, because it makes everyone happy eventually at the end of the day. It doesn't, you know, it brings down the divisiveness a little bit, because eventually at least you'll get the mob. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours by subscribing and commenting and all that fun jazz if you agree or not. And be sure to like and share the video. We're really shooting for 500 subs, and after midterms I have a lot coming, both in gaming commentary and funny moments. So subscribe.